Hello everyone, this is Slinky and 201A's guide for Pantheon 5 All Bindings.
This video series is intended for people who are looking to clear this challenge for the first time, as well as people who have beaten P5AB and want to enhance their skill at the challenge.
Let's introduce ourselves first. I, Slinky, have beaten P5 All Bindings taking double damage and P5 Hitless with nail binding.
And I'm a P5AB speedrunner. This is 201A. So, the two of us have quite a bit of experience with the challenge, and we're hoping to share it with you.
Naturally, before we can start the more in-depth techniques, we must begin with the basics. While this video will not go into any tactics or strategies for particular bosses, I highly recommend you watch it through. The base knowledge is crucial before you extend yourself further, unless you already have extensive experience with all bindings.
First of all, it's worth clarifying what the bindings actually do. Charm binding removes your charms, nail binding reduces your damage to 13, soul binding reduces your heal and spellcasting resources down to just one cast at a time, and shell binding reduces your max HP to 4. No strength and quick slash, as well as the one cast of soul, renders the gameplay style significantly different from normal, so it takes a lot of time to adjust and learn to play effectively.
As such, before you begin P5AB, I highly recommend you complete Pantheon 1 through 4 with all bindings. It is extremely important to get a good sense of all bindings gameplay before beginning a consistent challenge as difficult as P5AB. Before we start to talk about tips for specific bosses in P5AB, we will start off with the two most important general tips. The first tip is not to hold your cast for a huge portion of the fight just waiting for that one healing window. Many hard bosses give rare healing opportunities, so it's often safer to aim to end the fight faster rather than run around hoping to get that one heal off and likely take additional damage as a result. When you decide between healing or spellcasting, a general rule of thumb is to use a spell. Unless you are positive you can get a heal within a short amount of time. Heal when you know the boss is going to be staggered soon, or if they have frequent and easy heal windows. Spell boosts will damage enormously, so make sure you get good use out of them. The second tip is to use nail arts. Nail arts are extremely powerful in all binding. However, many of you probably never used or rarely used nail arts before this point.
So let's look at the damage of all the attacks under an all-binding situation to see why spells and nail lights are so strong. A normal nail hit is 13 damage, Great Slash and Dash Slash are both 32 damage, and Cyclone is 16 damage per tick, with a maximum damage of 96 assuming you can land all 6 hits. While this is rare, even 3 Cyclone hits, which is the minimum if the player does not seek to extend the Cyclone Slash, is still more than a Great or Dash Slash. Shade Soul is 30 damage, but it can hit multiple times, occasionally giving 60 with a double hit. Descending Dark does a total of 60 or 65 damage, depending on which direction you're facing. Team Cherry moment. Abyss Shriek is 20 damage per tick, for a total of 80 damage. As you can see, spells and nail arts all do much more damage than regular hits. Abyss Shriek and Cyclone Slash are particularly powerful, but they're a little bit harder to use.
In this part, we'll be suggesting mods. If you're a console player, you would not be able to use mods. However, you can practice many bosses in Ascendant or Radiant mode without using charms. Furthermore, you can create a new save file that does not upgrade past the channel nail, which has the same damage as pure nail when nail binding is active. So, for PC players, to access mods, go join the HKA main server, which is this one right here. Go to modding help channel, click on ping messages, find this link, Scarab, then download download whichever one suits your operating system. For me it's Windows, which I've already downloaded. Unzip the save, which will be here. For me it is here. I unzipped it, rename it to Scarab, and after you unzip it you will see 4 files here. Click on Scarab. So, in order to download mod, you just have to click this install button here. Then, no matter, you can just click open a mod, let's say, Togglable Bindings, then you will see the dependencies. You have to have the dependency activated in order for the mod to work. Whenever you download the mod, it always automatically downloads dependency, so don't worry about that. Just remember to do not turn off dependencies for mods that you are currently using, otherwise it's not going to work. So the two mods I'll be suggesting, first is Togglable Binding. Once you install Togglable Binding, I will show you in game right now how it will work. Togglable Binding basically lets you practice bosses in Half God with all bindings. So right here, when you sit on a bench, press C dash, press down button, a menu for bind will open. You can just put on all of them, and you can just go practice a boss while binding is activated. And a second mod that's suggested but not as essential as Togglable Binding is Godseeker Plus. So to find your mod, you can click options, you will see a mods here, then click on Godseeker Plus. If you have Godseeker Plus, like download it, then go to boss challenges. So first of all, P5 health and half damage on Half God Ascended buff. This way you can practice bosses that require Ascended Arena, such as Markarth, with P5 health and also taking 1 damage instead of 2 Ascended. That way you will be practicing exactly what you will be playing in Pantheon, along with Togglable Binding mod. A second use of Godseeker Plus that I would suggest is once you turn on segmented P5, and there will be the segmented P5 in which it automatically remembers binding, but in which you can just practice one spell at a time with all bindings, like this. This way you can simulate how it will be like in Pantheon. For example, you can just practice Soul Time to Nightmare King Grim, or Hive Knight to Charmaster Grim, or like splits that you struggle on. That's it. That's the mods we suggest you guys using in practicing for P5 all bindings. Thanks everyone. We will see you all in the next video where we start by discussing the 4 hardest bosses in P5 AB, also known as the 4 big demons: Collector, Markarth, Great Prince, and Abs Radius.